Welcome to Nebraska City.
His presence in this room tonight. Can we do that? Just wherever you're at in your own way, just tell God how much you love Him tonight.
I wonder if it's worth it to keep my life clean. He said, it seems like I'm wasting my time having a pure heart. It seems like I'm wasting my time washing my hands in innocence. Because Asaph liked to think he made the mistake of going to church one too many times. And he said, I just didn't know what to do with all of this inside me. Until I entered the sanctuary of God, verse 17, and then I understood their final destiny. What happens every time we lead a worship service is that there's a collision of perspectives. People who come in, they are dragged in from being bombarded from a this world perspective. Everything in their life seems and feels more important than eternity. That's why I think it's great to attend a funeral once in a while. You know, you go to a funeral and suddenly you see life through the rear view mirror. You see life from the perspective of eternity. And all of a sudden, all the stuff that seems so important doesn't seem important. And the things that don't normally seem important day to day become extremely important. And this is exactly what ought to happen in every worship service we're a part of. Two great worldviews, two perspectives. The angle of looking at life from this world's perspective, which says, you know what, I'm not getting what I think I deserve. And I'm not getting what I think God owes me after all I've done for Him. And that this world perspective collided for Asaph with another world's perspective, the eternal perspective. And you all know, I couldn't put my fingers close enough together to show you how short this lifetime is compared to eternity. We do most of our living in eternity. This life is just like that compared to where we're going to do most of our living. And we put everything in that. And that's where Asaph got sucked in. He was just preoccupied with, what am I getting my goods through a snap of a finger type? And suddenly he said, I went to church and I saw, this is what worship does. It gives us an eternal perspective. It helps us to look at everything in life from the eternal different frame of reference by which to look at life. And so he said, here's what I suddenly realized. I saw their final destiny. I realized from an eternal perspective, even though they've got it good right then, I realized that it's no more real. When we say, you know, you're skating on thin ice, he says they're on slippery ground. But you're going to cast, suddenly they're destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. As a dream when one awakes, so when you arise, O God, you will despise them as fantasy. Their prosperous, popular condition is no more than just a dream that they're going to wake up from and be hit in the face with eternal reality. That's it. And so God doesn't answer his question, but he changes his perspective. There's this huge collision of perspective. He said, and I just had angst in my soul until I went to the sanctuary of God and I saw things from an eternal perspective. Now where he goes next is incredibly important. And he was saying something very insightful. Most of us think with our pain instead of thinking with our brain. And this is exactly what he said. He said, when I was bitter in my heart, when my heart was really hurting, he said, I was about as brilliant as a cow. He said, I was about as smart as a dumb beast. Because pain and exhaustion and depletedness completely distort our perspective. I want to tell you, when you're really, really discouraged, when you're really tired, and when that church member has just hurt your heart to the core, that is not the time to come to your final theological conclusions about who God is and about what you're doing into your glory. Now his conclusion is this. I may be plagued and I may be prosperous, but Lord, one thing hasn't changed. I'm still with you. Hold on to you. And your counsels are, your way, narrow as it is guiding me. And my destiny, my future is glory. Are you okay with that?